Welcome back, guys. And you know me likes me some 7 out of 10 games. And today I'm covering Ninja Blade. I'm putting the blame on this one for Generation Pixel for reminding me about this game. I beat it back in launch, and I actually recently acquired a copy again. #acquisitions. And yeah, I've been having a lot of fun replaying this game. It's a FromSoftware game. And not a lot of people have played it or known about it. And at the time it was launched in 2008, 2009, in and around that time frame, it was kind of overshadowed by Ninja Gaiden. And a lot of people said, oh, it's a clone of Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. And they kind of avoided it. It does have its issues, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm going to get into the reasons why it is a lot of fun. So at its core, Ninja Blade is a hack and slash action game in a similar vein to Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden, as I mentioned previously. It requires quick reaction times, it's really fast-paced action, and it does have some heavy use of QTEs. Personally speaking, I don't mind quick time events, but they're not everybody's cup of tea, and you have to bear in mind there's a lot of them in this game. What I will say about the QTEs, they're handled nicely and they don't completely interrupt the flow of combat. They actually remind me something similar of Doom 2016 in that they do enhance the gameplay. And everything is so fast-paced that a lot of these QTEs don't hang around too long. The one other aspect that's handled well with the QuickTime events is that it has a quick rollback feature, so that if you actually fail, you don't necessarily have to resume from a checkpoint. You literally pull back the analog stick down and you can rewind to an extent and then complete them again. It all kind of gives Ninja Blade this kind of bombastic, over-the-top feel that it's really going for. Like, everything is really kind of ridiculous in a way. Like, there's buildings being knocked down by huge monsters and this single ninja is like running away from them. But it's all actually incredibly exciting all the same. And it works really well given the premise. I really did like the design of some of these incredibly over-the-top action set pieces. This segment here, you're literally running down the side of a building. This particular part is highly interactive. It's not necessarily all QTE, so you are moving your analog stick here left and right, and then you're tapping either the X or the Y button to attack the enemies as you go down. All of this, as I said, lends itself to that over-the-top feel that the game is going for. This same thought process applies to the boss battles as well, all over the top, and they usually have weaknesses based on the weapon you've selected or you've unlocked. You can hot swap between 4 different weapons in the game, and each of those have their own kind of strengths and weaknesses, and you need to kind of use all your arsenal essentially to beat the bosses. You can't just solely rely on one weapon. Same goes for the shurikens as well, which are essentially like magic moves. There's fire, there's wind, so you unlock all of those as well. In this case here, you can see to try and beat this boss, you have to use the wind shuriken to knock out the flames, and then you can attack him with your swords. And then eventually, when his health bar is lowered enough, you can perform a kind of an ultimate QTE to finish him off, essentially. The other thing I like about the boss design is you can actually have a boss chasing you through the entire level, and you might have to fight him 4 or 5 different times, but in different areas and in different scenarios. And every time you encounter that boss, each battle is played out differently. Honestly, there really is so much variety in this game. There's like even on-rail sections where you're flying a helicopter, you're shooting machine guns and stuff like that. I was never ever bored. There was always something new thrown at you, something bigger or more bombastic than the last. What's nice about these on-rail sections as well is they really don't overstay their welcome. So they're over nice and quickly and then transition you back into the main action. I should go through the core aspect of the control scheme, which I'll do that now. So primary weapon selection is handled by the D-pad. In this case here, because I have a shield, you got to switch to the heavier sword, and then you can switch back to your main sword once you get rid of those shields, if that makes sense. X is standard attack, Y is hard or heavy attack, and then B is a finishing move. And you can mix up various combinations between X and Y, and as you level up your weapons, you unlock more abilities and more attacks. B is also used for your shuriken, as I mentioned previously. That can be used and it can be thrown straight in front of you to solve puzzles, or it can be used mid-combat. As I said, you can use the wind shuriken to knock out flame, or you can use the wind shuriken to knock walls, so you can actually use your grapple to move over. You can also upgrade your weapons, and all the blood crystals that you collect from defeating enemies, they go into your weapon upgrades. There's 3 levels of each weapon, and each level increase unlocks new move sets and also increases the power that your weapon does and how much attack damage. Movement controls themselves are handled with the left analog stick, right analog stick to move the camera around, and then right trigger to kind of move really, really fast. So it kind of goes into this kind of nearly Matrix style speed, and you can pretty much dodge a lot of the attacks using this move. Left trigger is used for block. However, I found dodging enemy attacks altogether was just more effective. But overall, the combat system is very enjoyable. And if you're at home and comfortable with stuff like Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden, you'll kind of know the flow of combat here as well. Overall, I do feel that this is quite overlooked game. I do think it's very much worth your time. Very easily picked up right now. It's very, very cheap. I think I got like my copy again for like €6 or something. If I was to critique it, my biggest problem with the game at the moment is its frame rate. It has some frame rate issues, in particular when you use different vision modes. So you can also use vision modes here. It's called Ninja Vision, and whenever you swap back and forth from that, there seems to be a rather heavy drop in frames just for a moment, and that can be quite jarring at times. So it's unfortunate that this isn't backwards compatible on the Series X. But overall, if you're looking for an alternate action game in a similar vein to Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden, look no further than Ninja Blade. And yeah, it was unfortunately overlooked, as I said, but very, very cheap to pick up now, and definitely a very, very enjoyable action game. Guys, let me know what you think. Have you played this game? Let me know in the comments. And if you're new to this channel, maybe consider subscribing and supporting me. I would really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.